Hello and welcome back to another video here on the channel. In today's video we are on the OmathaCraft Season 4 server. It is episode 26 and in today's episode we are going to be doing a mixture of different bits and pieces here on the server. And I cannot believe it is 2020. This is the this is the second video of the new year. I'm getting all mixed up. It's been a while since I've been able to record here on server. We've had a few behind the scenes technical issues, but they are now fixed up and I'm now able to record here on the server, which makes it a lot more exciting. And in today's episode, we are starting over here at the bee farm. So let's shove on the armor just like that. We're going to jump around into first person. And I just want to talk a little bit about the bee farm that we built up in the last episode. And just a couple of issues I found with it. But other than that, it's been really, really productive. Take a look in these chests here. Over 9 stacks in both. So we're coming on 25 stacks maybe of honeycomb already. And I haven't AFK'd here, this has just been while I'm working here. That is crazy. Obviously this side here we set up fairly recently, so there's obviously less being moved over and obviously less stock over here overall. One problem I have had is we see here, this hasn't been harvested. Now the reason because of this, I think, is chunk unloading. Now I think when the chunk unloads, the bees might still be able to develop the honey. It turns into the new block, but the observer doesn't have to detect it. So I'm not too sure what's going on, but I think I'm fairly sure it's to do with chunk loading. Now the way I can fix this is with a pair of shears, hit it like that. Now these bees will not die. Now the reason they won't die is because they haven't stung me, and that's because of the glass wall in place. If the glass wall wasn't in place, the bees would sting me, they'd lose their stingers and they would die. And we obviously don't want the bees to die, we want them to stay in the farm as they are, which obviously is the main idea for the farm. So that is why it's a bit of an issue, but it's easy for me to fix. All I have to do is break this block above the hopper. The bees can't fit through this gap between the hopper and the glass block down here, and it is fairly easy and quick for me to fix up. But I thought I'd just point out that is one issue I found with this farm design. So in today's episode, what I want to do is work on the honey bottle farm. Obviously this is the farm that's going to be providing us the most amount of resources. I mean, take a look in there. We've just had to offload so many glass bottles. I've been doing a crazy amount of smelting and also sand mining to make this possible, and we've sort of offloaded the same amount into both chests. It was about, I can't remember how much sand, but it was absolutely crazy. So a stack of 3 stacks of sand where it goes into 3 stacks of glass bottles. It's not a very fair payoff. But to be honest, I think for the honey blocks it is going to make in the end. And obviously the glass bottles we'll be able to reuse. When we craft them into honey blocks, we'll be able to reuse them and put them back in the system. So once we've got a set amount in there, it should be all good. But anyways, in today's episode, I'd like to get this at least 1 or 2 of these farms set up and running. Once they're set up and running, we'll actually be able to get a bit of production in this. And then I think we might jump over and do something a little bit different for the end of today's episode. But anyways, let's jump straight into things and let's get some bees across. This should be interesting. And that didn't take as long as it did for the other farm, but I've managed to get 1 bee in here. I mean, I was trying to get it in here, as you can see, but that didn't happen. The bee decided he wanted to go to that one there, so that's where the bee's gone. But anyways, that's what we're going to be trying to be doing, and I think the easiest way for me to do it, and how we ended up doing on the last one, is that you get the bees in there, get 2 bees in there, and then just breed them up. When they're breeding up, it's absolutely fine. As you can see, I've been doing a little bit of breeding down here, but I think in the long run, it's much easier for me to do it down at the bottom. Anyways, let's see, can we do any breeding with you lot? There we go, there's 2 more. Let's get another baby bee. Lovely. That's what we want. Yeah, right, you're coming with me. You are coming with me. So this is how we do it. We grab a lead on the bee, and luckily the bees barely ever snap off, which is actually incredibly useful, even if they don't actually want to go into the farm. But this one, do you want to go straight in? If you want to go straight in, I'm more than happy for you to do that. If we can get that lead off, just like, wow. I should be recording while doing it all the time. I've never had it that easy, ever. That I'll pick up that lead. We've managed to get 1 in there. I mean, it's in the complete wrong farm, but if we get multiple, and I cannot get on that block, thank you very much. If we get multiple coming onto this, into this one here, it's easy. We can then breed nice and easily. Anyways, that's what I'm going to be doing for the next probably 3 hours or so, trying to fill up all of these farms and do a hell of a lot of breeding. Anyways, I will crack on with that. Once I've done that, we should be good to get going with this farm, which is very, very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to craft our first honey block I've ever crafted is, as we can see, the sugar recipe there. If we place these in, our first sort of stack of bottles has been used up. We have 16 honey blocks. Let's give this a go. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I believe we'll get an advancement as well for doing this. Okay, so that was a bit of an anticlimax. Let's try this again. Well, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, I can't pillar up. I forgot. This is so cool. Let's try and pillar up like that. I'm going to grab some blocks on there. We'll pillar up. I just want to give this a go. I'm so excited about honey blocks. This is so cool. That's the wrong block just there. Let's make a nice... I can't get up. I'm not going to get used to this. I'm just going to land on them. Why can't I get up like that? And what we do is we jump around the side. Yes. Sticky situation. Take a look at that. This is the brand new block in Minecraft 1.15. This is very exciting. I'm so excited to start working on some redstone projects with these blocks, start selling them, start making money. Okay, welcome to my testing world. I was thinking, you know what we'll do? We're going to design a bee shop. And in that shop, we're going to sell all the bee items. We might even sell bees themselves. Then I thought, wait, hang on a second. I've been working on a redstone project for the past couple of months. And actually, funnily enough, in the background, you can see the testing of the bank, which we built probably around a year ago, which is absolutely bonkers. But anyways, this is our new redstone project, which we are going to be building on the OmathaCraft server. Let's take a look at this straight away. So what we're going to do is we are going to head up to this shulker box. And inside this shulker box, you'll see that there is a whole bunch of items. Now in this item, so you are going to select what you wish to order. So for example, this is set up what a gunpowder rocket shop might be set up as. So let's say I want some shulker box full of tier 3 rockets. I'm going to pop that in my inventory, just like that. I'm going to come over to the shulker box just next door. I'm going to pop this in the shulker box. And you can make bulk orders as well, which is pretty exciting. We can hit this button, you'll see it goes from the shulker box. And if we wander over here and just wait a second, you will see that in front of us will appear a shulker box, and in that shulker box will be whatever we decide to sell. Now in my inventory you'll see that a bit of paper has just appeared. Now this will show you the cost of the shulker box and how much stock you have bought. Now, obviously, the pricing is just, this is completely random, whatever numbers came into my head. So, obviously, all the pricing will be redone when we actually set this up on the OmathaCraft server. But if we take a look in this shulker box, you'll see that I have a whole bunch of rockets. So, let's say I take all the ones out. So, it might not be a full shulker box. It might, I don't know what it'll be, however much we decide to sell. So, let's say I grab that one just there. You'll see the shulker box is broken, like that. And then we can wander over to this payment system here. We can, let's say, oh, I didn't actually get some diamonds myself. So, let's grab some diamonds. So, let's say, what do we have to pay? We have to pay 20 diamonds for that one there. So we're going to grab our 20 diamonds just like that. We're going to head into the shulker box, put 20 diamonds in just like that. And then we can also put in our ticket as well, so you don't get spammed up with paper coming to the shop. So this is a pretty cool system. I've spent quite a bit of time on it, and it's actually really cool to take a look at. So that's what we're going to do right now. Let's have a look at the redstone. Let's break this down bit by bit, take a look at what's going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through the system and just walk it through stage by stage and take a look at how everything works. So the first thing we do is we choose our item just around here. And if we head around the back, you'll see there's a little bit, it's a bit messy redstone going on all over the place around here, but you'll see that that is what's happening down here. So you choose your item, then you come along and you place it in this shulker box. This redstone torch here is powering this hopper, so nothing is going to go through until you press the button. When you press the button, this will then head through into this dispenser, this dropper, sorry. We have an automatic dropping system just here, this yellow circuit just here. Once that's automatically dropped into the water stream, you'll see that it heads all the way up here into this hopper line. Now here we have a simple impulse SV sorter, and you will see that inside here you have each one of the tokens. As you can see, they're all appearing, and in there we'll put a different item just to prevent things breaking. We also put a chest at the end in case anyone throws some random rubbish in. Let's say someone puts some redstone dust in. You'll see that that doesn't go into the system, it just ends up in that rubbish chest at the end. So when an item flows into this comparator just here, into this hopper, sorry, just here, you'll see that what we have is this redstone dust just here gets turned on. As you'll see at the moment, as we can see, power is 0. The power just there is 1. This will then turn to 1. This will then activate this dispenser, this dropper, sorry. I'm getting them all mixed up, it doesn't really matter. But this here has your ticket in. So we'll fill up all the tickets in that dropper just there. Now underneath, we have another dispenser, dropper. And this dropper is full of the shulker box, full of the items. So what will happen is it will power both these droppers at the same time. Meanwhile, what we'll see will happen is this will come down here. This will activate as a usual impulse SV sorting system. The item is going to flow through into this dropper just here. When it's in the dropper, this simple observer powering system is just going to power that dropper just there and send the item down to one of those chests down there, which we'll take a look at in just a minute. And then what we have is we just have some water streams linking everything up. So for example, the shulker box heads up this water stream just down here into this hopper line just into here, and there is a dispenser back there. Now that there is the dispenser that's visible, as you can see just there. So what we have going on next is we have some wiggly circuitry going on to power this dispenser, and then also we have a system to break the shulker box when the shulker is empty. So firstly, if we take a look at this grey circuit just here, this light grey wall, this is again an automatic dropper system. It's just these few blocks here that automatically dispenses anything in the dispenser. This comparator will then detect whether if there are any items in the shulker box behind him. As you'll see, if we break this block just here, you'll see that actually we can't see very well, but if we break that one as well, you'll see that that comparator is just there, so it's going to take the output through this block here. This will then run into two separate systems. The first one we are going to see is this runs the pulse, and it's a bit difficult to get around in here, but we'll see that this comparator will go into this block here. Now inside that block, which we can't really see, is a redstone torch. This heads up here and we have a simple pulse generator circuit. So what we'll see is if we break that block and then if we replace the block once again, you'll see that it generates a pulse, so that piston pushes down and then retracts back up again, breaking the shulker box. So that's stage one done. But the other problem we have is we have a hopper down here to pick up that shulker box, but that needs to be locked, otherwise it'll steal all your items that you've bought. So we don't want that. So what we have is we have a system down here on the white circuitry line again, which is just does a little bit of unlocking and locking of that system just there, which then will let the shulker box down into this chest. As you'll see, the shulker box that we used is now down in this chest. We then have all the item tokens which come into this chest here, so we can see what needs restocking. This is the nicest thing about the system, that it's all in a really close area. We can see, right, we need to stock tier 3 rockets and gunpowder, and the shulker boxes are right there. It's really, really simple. For the restocking side of things, the shulker boxes are there. You can see what needs to be restocked, and in this chest over here, you'll see that our diamonds are there, and our tickets are there as well. So that is my system, and as you can tell, my voice is going, whoa, I've done a lot of redstone explaining, and I've just forgotten one piece. So let's come and take a look at this circuitry just down here. So down here, this is an auto restocking system. So here we have this green circuitry here. This is an automatic dropper system. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab that TNT shulker box. So say someone has bought some TNT. What we've done is we've headed to our base, we've crafted up the TNT, we've restocked this shulker box. What we're then going to do is we're going to head to the correct chest. We're going to dump this shulker box inside, and then it heads up this automatic dropper elevator here, and you'll see it fills up in that dropper. So that there is my redstone system, and the nicest thing about this, as I've already said, is this is completely tileable. All we have to do is we can just expand. We'll add some more droppers here. This circuit here is all tileable, and the circuit at the top's all tileable. This is obviously observer, so this is tileable as well. You can get the picture. It's all tileable. So this is what we are going to be building on the OmathaCraft server. Now the idea for this came from Omega. Now you saw Omega, I popped over there a few times in videos, and I'm sure you've seen other members of the server heading over there as well. Now that place, it's going to be one of our main competitors. My aim is we are going to hopefully outsell and become richer, because currently we're quite poor on the OmathaCraft server, so I'd like to fix that up. But anyways, let's head onto the OmathaCraft server. We've got a lot of redstone resource gathering to do, as you can see behind me. This is going to be one chunky system. Anyways, let's head onto the server and let's start resource gathering. Okay, so we are here back on the server, and we are going to be building up the shop, and hopefully we are going to get a big proportion of this done in today's episode, which is super, super exciting. Anyways, that's our rival over there, which hopefully, yeah, we're going to be beating you. We're going to have a more epic shop. That's the plan anyways. Anyways, jumping over here, off in the distance, you probably can just about notice, just out of the render distance, there is some building being done. This is the area where the new shop is going to be going. So what I've done is I've flattened a little area around here. As you can see, there's the grass growing black at the moment. I've marked out an area just so people know not to build too close by. And as you can see, the first module is being built up, and I'm going to punch out the scaffolding because we're probably not going to need it there straight away. It seems I need to punch out that stuff as well. There we go, that is that all gone. But my plan is to build this up, is to do it module by module. And if we take a look at this, we actually have the first module done already, which is actually pretty cool. So this will be the first test. What we're going to do is we're going to put a repeater in there, and hopefully we will find it ends up in that dropper. So this is the loading system for the shulker boxes. So that is the first part done. Now obviously that's not the most important part, but to be honest, the reason I built that is that was the lowest down. So I believe the next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be heading up the top up here. And if we can land on that, which clearly I can't, I probably should have to use some scaffolding. That would probably make a little bit more sense. But if we head up here, I think what we need to do is we are going to be building up our next module on top of this block. So we're going to place some blocks down just like this. And this is where our item filter is going to be going, which is pretty exciting. Anyways, so I'm going to build this up module by module, bit by bit. And once we've done that, we should actually have this, well, it should be pretty easy to build, and it's not actually requiring too many redstone resources, which is quite nice. It's not using up too much. I mean, there's a fair bit going on, but in the scheme of things, it's pretty resource friendly. And with that, we have the shop functionally working, which is very exciting. Very, very exciting. Let's come down to the front, and obviously I've shown you this all before in the creative testing world, so there's not much to go over, just to show that it's done. Now firstly, this is these stone bricks. It's all temporary blocks. This will all be changed. The facade is going to have a completely different theme, different style. That hasn't yet been worked out, but it's going to be happening. So that's all temporary. All of this stuff you see here will all change eventually. But if we come around the back, you will see that all the redstone is in place. And there's been a couple of instances where I've had to rewire a couple of bits and pieces. So we come around here, there's been a little bit of rewiring down in this circuitry down here, just to make sure that all fits in. But around the back, you will see that this is all up and running as we saw earlier. That is all running, it's functioning, all complete. Obviously all the item droppers, they're all working, so if we put that in there, we will see that that ends up in that dropper up there, nice and simple. Yes, I cannot believe this is complete. If we come down here, this is where we're going to be able to see our diamonds. This is where we're going to get the empty shulkers. And this is where we're going to be able to see which items have been sold. There's our restocking systems. And these are the first things I'm going to be stocking. Flight duration, 1 rockets, 2 rockets, 3 rockets, pure gunpowder. And then obviously all of the B things which we were working on earlier in the episode and in the last episode. But unfortunately, that is all I've got time for today. In the next episode, we will hopefully get the shop up and running. We'll get something built around this thing, and it'll actually be finished and usable, which I'm very, very excited about. So if you have enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, as it really does support the channel a lot, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.